Thank you for staying with us. There is an exciting film and concert performance happening next week at the Performing Arts Center at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. And here to talk about it is Justin Sherburne with the Living Coast performance and Dr. Larry McKinney with the Heart Research Institute. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so tell us everything we need to know about this incredible event, the Living Coast. It obviously speaks for itself from what I've seen and from what I've heard. So what can we expect next week?
Well, first, it's a beautiful nature film that was primarily, it was shot up and down the coast, but a lot of it was shot right here in Corpus Christi. So you'll see beautiful imagery of the surrounding areas, wildlife, all along the coast.
Look at that, that's incredible.
Yeah, and you know, they caught, that image you're seeing right now is actually in South Padre, and the day they were shooting there, they had really clear waters, which, you know, was great for them to shoot underwater, so there's a lot of underwater imagery. So that's the film that you see, and then you see us playing.
Take a look at that,
so
yes.
it's a film and musical performance as well. And the group that's playing is called Montopolis, and it's a combination of rock musicians and country musicians and classical musicians playing together this instrumental music that was inspired by the film and by the interviews that we took. We filmed along the coast, and we also interviewed people. So we talked to surfers and shrimpers and scientists and historians and just people who live along the coast.
Right. I think this is the perfect coastal living interview because this is something that A&M Corpus has never done before. So it's going to be spectacular. And I have to ask, what inspired this? What made y'all want to do a performance just like this?
Well, the group has been doing shows about Texas for a few years now. We started off in Central Texas with the San Marcos River, and then did a show about Enchanted Rock, and then did a show about Big Bend. And our filmmaker that we work with is from Corpus Christi. He's a native of Corpus Christi. And so he naturally wanted to come back home and do something about his hometown and the Texas coast. So that's how we ended up focusing on the coast.
And for us, for the Heart Research Institute, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. And so we wanted to do something, a nice combination between science and music and liberal arts, if you want to call it that.
Absolutely,
And so the idea for us was that if we can reinforce in people's mind how important the coast is, then it helps them understand why we need to protect it. And of course, that's what we do at the Institute. Our work there is to protect the coast. So it's a really kind of a neat combination. We've never done this before. We're very excited about trying it out and hope people will come out and enjoy it with us. Sure,
I definitely think that they will. And this was a question I had for you, Doctor. How can science and art work together tell the story of our beautiful Gulf Coast?
Yeah, and that's kind of the connection, is that people, I think, understand how important the coast is to all of us, a good environment, but this presentation really, I think, will reinforce that. And then I hope it gets people thinking, says, okay, what do we need to do to protect this, to make sure it's there for our children?
Sure.
That's where our institute comes in support for our institute and our scientists that are doing all those things to help make sure it has the future that we all want.
Wonderful. And how does it make you feel to sponsor something like this? I think this is so incredible, and to really get our community involved, especially not only students, but just our community to go watch something so beautiful like what you're doing.
Well, you know, traditionally people think of scientists have a difficult time talking to people, and I think it's probably true to some extent. So, we just got the idea as well, music and cinematography and narration, all these types of things. These are great talented folks here that know how to do that. So they know how to communicate. So if they can help us communicate what our life is, what our passion is about protecting the coast and so forth, that's really what we hope to accomplish. And
I do want to mention on the evening, on the evening of the performance in the Performing Arts Center, we'll be performing in the theater, but the Heart Research Institute folks will be in the lobby there to provide information. Scientific information, and so the community can come and see this wonderful celebration of the coast and then learn about it.
Yeah, that's the combination.
You'll be learning. It's beautiful, informative, educational, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience. And why is this a special event for the Heart Research Institute, especially special for the Gulf of Mexico students?
Well, as I said earlier, it's our 20th anniversary as an institute. It's hard to believe we've been in existence for 20 years. That's relatively young for some, but we wanted just to mark that occasion to thank our supporters and people for what they've done. And one of the ways to do this is help put on this wonderful performance. And bring it here to the coastal bend where it's never been. So it's just kind of it's one part of it to thank you to all of our supporters out there, and also a chance to teach a little bit. So.
Yes, yes. And how does it feel as a performer and a producer to have, these two very significant jobs? How does it feel for you? Do you ever get overwhelmed from time to time because you're very talented?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it makes for full days of scheduling musicians and trying to find time to actually write music.
Yes.
And rehearse my musicians in and deal with all the logistics and administrative things. So it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yes,
I can't
sir.
imagine what they do. I mean, it's just impressive me how they can put all this together.
I can agree. We all do that here, especially in coastal living. We try to balance as many things as possible, and it's well worth it in the end, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, how can we see the Living Coast?
You can see it on March 4.
Okay.
At the Performing Arts Center.
At 7:30. And so
Wonderful.
as we call it the PAC, of course, but most people know where the Performing Arts Center is on the university campus.
There you go. It abbreviates it, condenses it.
Yeah,
right?
and thankfully we've had support from the Texas Commission on Arts, so we can offer the tickets are only $10 for adults and $5 for seniors and kids. So we're trying to make it accessible to many people as possible to really enjoy it.
Awesome. So we have the information on your screen. March 4th at 7:30. You do not want to miss it. $10 for adults, like you said, and $5 for students and seniors. You can get your tickets now online or call 361-825-2787. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today. I learned so much, and I cannot wait to see this beautiful performance.
Well, thank you for having us on. Appreciate it
Thank
greatly.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, we have more coming up on Coastal Living. We'll be right back.